More UK League of Legends. I'm Viprune with like 80% of my brain cells still here. Jamada, I don't know what percentage you're at after these last two games that we've watched. Do you remember when we were watching M&M Gaming versus Resolve Academy? Do you remember how like clean and decisive those games were?
What?
You remember a time when
I am suffering. I am suffering. I'm sorry if you're wearing headphones. I am suffering. I am suffering. We've had some games of League of Legends, guys. All right.
Tristana's been banned, so we're not having the same bans this time around, which does mean that
we've actually swapped sides. We've actually swapped sides.
Yeah. London got I believe London Esports got the pick on this one because they won that tiebreaker well back on Thursday. So now they get the final ban away. And I'm trying to remember what has been let through that was banned out previously by NVision.
Viego is up and available. So let's see whether London want to remove it. They're going to take away Faded Solution. So he's been on it 2 games. Let's see what the difference will be here. And now NVision, they have the opportunity to take away the Gwen themselves or the Viego, which has been permanently banned so far. And it will be the Viego they make the choice for. So let's see what they can get done with it. Yeah, London, I'm expecting this. Honestly, maybe even the Thresh, just straight rotation with it would make a whole bunch of sense to me. Okay. Wow. All right. So they're going to snap up. They're going to snap up the Diana at the same time. So Aka's obviously, I'm imagining, is going to be the one piloting the Gwen. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart. And of course, Diana should be in No Name's hands. So now I look towards Beely and I say, okay, this should be an AD mid, right? But the AD mid that you would primarily take in the situation would be set. So NVision say, all right, let's deny this one away. And now for Faded, eventually we can lock in an AP champion if we want, or we can even put, Viego set in the solo lanes and AP jungler later on down the line. So a lot of flexibility here. And I wouldn't mind seeing NVision, I think with a draft like this, probably take an agency support. Not necessarily someone like Thresh, Leona, Nautilus, things that can make fights happen would be good. Also an AD carry, but instead, all right, they want to snap up the AP mid champion now, which I can honestly kind of understand, just to make sure that Faded's champion pool doesn't get, pinched any further than it potentially has to be. Played the Rise on the Thursday, didn't really get to show much off. So I'm excited to see what exactly he can do, because Rise is a very powerful champion. It's still very, very strong. And these London champions right now will be operating inside of his ranges for the most part. And London, they're going to round out the first part of their draft with a little bit of engage via that Nautilus.
Yeah, the Nautilus last game, there was a lot of non-important hooks were missed, but the important ones were landed. So this is kind of a very strong pick that London showed, and now they get to decide which members of the bot lane don't they want to go up against. Are they going to be taking away Fuyu's Kai'Sa, which we've seen 2 games now? Are they going to go in a different direction? We'll have to wait and see. But honestly, because of course Sek can technically move down to that support role, but it's going to be Leona taken away.
Yeah, it will be Leona taken away, and we can maybe expect, the likes of other sort of disengagey supports as well to be removed away. Leona just very, very irritating to deal with in lane. Irelia was one of the champions that was consistently banned away throughout the series. But instead, okay, they're just going to remove away the Thresh. Even though typically Nautilus is a pretty good lane matchup into the Thresh, they are going to take that one off the table so Old Stones can't play it. Now I wonder what Old Stones will default to, but we see something like the Alistar come out, where you can definitely get a lot of nice follow-up with the NVision champions. Will we see something along the lines of perhaps the Braum NVision? I think making the right call to remove away something like the Yasuo. I wonder if you'll see Yone actually come out from BD. I feel like it doesn't have a terrible time into Rise. And they do need AD in the mid lane. And with Yasuo gone, the combo is definitely not as potent, but it's still very prevalent. And you can set up quite well for the Yone ultimates. Not Fuyu, because we've seen Fuyu on the Kai'Sa. Mankey will lock in the Kai'Sa for himself. So you've got a lot of dive on the London side, and it just has to be Yone as the R5. That's the only thing I can realistically see it being. But we'll have to wait and see what exactly London have in mind here for the mid lane. As NVision toying with the idea of Kalista, and
locking it in.
It is going to be locked in. So looking to get super aggressive on the bottom side. I really do like this. You've got the Rise as well. And I think, honestly, to help, I think you just go Braum. I think you just sort of secure the fact that you're never going to be able to take the fights unless you want to chuck the set into the support role instead, which is definitely still an option. And that's exactly what they're going to do with this Jax lock-in. So, okay, set Kalista on the bottom side, a lot of strong skirmishing, very hard to actually execute the set, especially with the Ultimate. And they're just going to commit with the full AP top side with this Cassiopeia pick. And honestly, I love it. It shuts down the Kalista so well. There's a lot of champions with dashes in general as well. I think the Viego Spectral Maw probably gets cancelled, or you probably can't cast it, or the dash portion, you might be able to release it. Jax can't jump anymore. You can interrupt. I would imagine you can interrupt the Rise Ultimate, because CC typically does interrupt Rise Ultimate. Hard CC typically interrupts the Rise Ultimate, so there's no reason for me to believe the ground won't. And all of these champions in this game kind of want to walk into, so Cassiopeia is a pretty nice pick here. I do worry about the damage profile, however, because magic resist ionization for basically every champion on NVision, very, very easy to acquire. So the build path going to be pretty simple for NVision, but I think London, when it comes to the team fights, they've got a lot of nice tools. I think, you know, side laning could usually, I would say it's potentially an issue when the Gwen's in the game, but Jax probably scales really well into the Gwen, I would imagine. Especially if we see, I think there's a particular rune setup where you go Ignite TP, Phase Rush on the Jax, and trading is actually very, very simple in the Gwen lane. So we'll see if DBL knows about that dark tech. I'm pretty sure that is the
has gone teleport flash.
Teleport flash.
So what was the keystone you wanted from it?
Phase Rush.
It's Conqueror.
It's Conqueror. Okay, that's fine.
It's still a strong pickup.
It's more to stomp lane, to be fair. It's more to stomp lane and make sure you stay ahead that rune setup. But you know, going for the more standard, I think that's totally fine as well. It's a spicy draft to round out the game. It's a very, very spicy draft to round out the game from both sides.
London Esports deciding they don't need AP. No, the AD. They have loads of AP. They've decided they want loads of that. But the champions they picked, the first two, really, really strong. Gwen and Diana, super strong on this patch. Cassiopeia, pretty decent. And as you said, shuts down what NVision want to be doing, really. But it means that their damage profile after a couple of items is going to be completely shut down. Unless Mankey can do absolutely tons of work. And this is the first time we're seeing Mankey not in a support role this series. So moving into the final game of this best of 3 and moving into the game that will secure finals, Telia Masters, and most of, if not all the marbles, because you have to play M&M Gaming for those tomorrow. And both of these teams have thrown caution to the wind.
That they are. And speaking of caution to the wind, London even want to go for a late invade here. Try and get some information. Doesn't look like anybody dropped a ward though. No Name is in the position to drop a ward over the wall before he leaves, and he will do just that. So I believe that ward was spotted out. What's up? What's up, Will?
Halo Blade set. He's not messing around. He just wants to punch.
Ah, that's an interesting rune choice. Does have Hex Flash.
Minions have spawned.
Just wants to punch. Jamada, are you going to stop this man?
I wonder how Halo Blades works with his auto attacks though, because he's he double punches.
Yeah.
So does it just do like the first 3 really quickly, and then like the 4th one comes out really slow, like usual? Are the auto attacks coded in? Like I've just never seen Set use Halo Blades. It's just something I just don't have information on.
NVision are like, we're just going to try and break Jamada a little bit more, and just the hook comes in, but also will be fine. It's level 1, but that is definitely an aggressive. We talked about this being an aggressive bot lane, aggressive summoner.
Yeah. Okay. Observer is saying that he can punch 4 times really fast, then Q, but then he also rounded it off with right question mark. So no one seems to know. I'm imagining. Okay, no. I'm just going to assume every single auto attack is like every single individual auto attack. Is it always left, right? I haven't played Set. Like, it's one of the few champions in the game I just haven't played.
It's left, right is how he punches, always. So is
but like if you don't punch for a while, does it always like, does it reset? Does it go back to left, right?
I don't think so.
Is it always alternate? I need to know.
You're the one who's meant to know about League of Legends. That's your job here.
I know, but I'm... Okay, you know what? Rune doesn't matter. We're 2.5 minutes into the game. Forget the rune, Will. Forget the rune.
I can't.
NVision, with the priority that they've got, Juanis has actually cleared out his whole top side, and with Set and Kalista, actually, oh wow, yeah, No Name.
From Old Stones.
No Name's in trouble. Yeah,
And the fight is going to continue off as Fuyu goes low himself. Could also be in trouble, but manages to get the heal away. Mankey looking for that one. Beely picks up first blood on the side and takes the blast code over into his own wolves. Yepe in a lot of trouble. Mankey going to be brought back in. That's 2 for 1 as No Name has returned to the fight. The first kill of play for NVision. No, as you're not just checking on through. Can't find the hook. So the play doesn't continue, but that's 1 apiece.
Okay, 1 apiece. It could have gone far worse for either side. That's all I'm going to say. Could have gone far worse for either side. Fortunately, some misexecution on some very important spells means that it's only a 1-for-1. So, what do I mean by this? I mean, cut into a replay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, yeah, it looks... Yeah, okay. All right, it looks like it's every individual punch then. But on the bottom side, you can see Fuyu gets caught out, flashes over the wall, straight into the weighing arms of Beely. Beely knocked away. Old Stones, I believe, haymakers and then flashes behind Hepe to get the true damage. And then that gives Juanatis the reset. Juanatis, yeah.
I mean, it could have been a really, really nice follow-up if that hook had landed. Obviously, it didn't this time round, so it's just 1 apiece. Beely getting first blood. Could this be notable?
Yes, definitely so. Started off with the Corruption Pot. Means that he's going to be able to pick up a tier. Maybe Amp Tome, something like that. Trading Power is going to be really, really strong now in this lane. And I actually can't remember the way that this lane is supposed to go 1-to-1. I feel like Cassiopeia usually... Oh, wow, blasting ones. Yeah, like I say, so had a lot of gold.
Touching teleports coming on through. Unotis is in the wings, and this might not actually be the play. He's going to be teleporting and has to sliver away, but he's very, very quick Snake, as Unotis is going to get 1 parting stab before backing away himself. Lots of resources burnt by both sides, but no one goes down.
Okay, well, both teleports from the mid lane is blown. It seems like action might not be done just yet. Either a dive. Yeah, it looks like a dive. They want to at least force London off this bottom wave. It's not a big one, but pressure is what they're looking for. Juanatis.
Oh, they're going to go for the re-engage. Nice stop, and there's the kill. Beely picking up that one. The fight will continue. It's traded 1-for-1 as Nautilus goes down. No Name is in the neighborhood, but I don't think he's going to be able to catch anyone out. Misses on the Crescent Slash. I'm going to be forced to back away again. Teams trading blow for blow.
Yeah, trading blow for blow, like you say. Another 1 apiece trade. Loads of things looking real shaky in terms of the decisiveness from some of the plays being made at the moment. In one moment, feels like they're just ready to go, and in others, a little bit of hesitation, and it's definitely showing. Game 3 of the best of 3 in a high-stakes match to take you to Telia Masters, to give you the opportunity to maybe make the run, make the gauntlet, all the way up to the NLC relegations. It is a big match for a lot of these players. But so many of these players have been in this position before, actually. When you think about it, a lot of veterancy, particularly from the UK players on the field, have run this same gauntlet.
They've been around quite a while, and of course, London Esports played in Telia Masters last split. They had a reasonable time of it in the group stages, didn't advance further than that, but as always, Telia Masters quietly stacked with some very, very strong teams, some very, very strong players. And both of these teams want to test their mettle against the best that this level of League of Legends in Europe has to offer. Right now, Vision just pushing in onto this bot side, trying to get some more gold under their belts. Gold dead even right now. There's nothing to separate these two teams, and that's kind of been the series so far. Both teams making plenty of good plays, but both teams making plenty of mistakes as well.
Yeah. Definitely so. And again, the high stakes pressure will do that. So I look towards the skirmishes that will break out in front of the objectives, I think. Realistically, right now, it's been fights kind of, not necessarily just the fight, you know, there have been fighting over things, right? Jungle camps, the wave on the bottom side, but these bigger neutral objectives where teams may feel a little more willing to commit is where I'm looking at. And I think in general, when you sort of take a step back and you look at the compositions as the game goes on, because there is a whole bunch of scaling in this game on both sides. Who's the target for, you know, both of these teams, right? There's obvious answers in some cases, but when you've got so many damage threats like on the side of London, it's like, okay, you take down the Diana, great. Now we've still got Cassiopeia, Gwen, and Kai'Sa to deal with, right? You remove the Jax, well, Ryze, Viego still gonna be thriving in the team fight. Kalista as well. The more time you give her to stack up Rens, well, you know what Kalista can do in the prolonged. Can be very, very, very dangerous. So I am very intrigued to see exactly how the team fights will unfold. But for now, there's not really going to be a crazy focus from both teams on the same neutral objective at the same time. London, they're going to be able to get this Herald away in their back pocket. I don't know why. I thought No Name flashed because of the particle effects on the Lunar Rush.
You were scared for a second.
Yeah, I was scared for a second.
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, with the series that we've had so far. It wouldn't have shocked me. But the Rift Herald has been secured by No Name, who we now can choose to invest that wherever he desires. Is there a lane that you particularly like to see this one drop?
I mean, again, there's so many carries on the London draft that it doesn't necessarily matter. I think Beely is far enough ahead that, you know,
doesn't know. Now he's going to be able to flash away. So there's the flash.
Yeah.
And it was used to save his life.
Yeah, very, very good. So,
don't go back in there. No Name.
No Name.
You've just flashed away. He's out again. These wolves are cursed for No Name. He's given up. He's going to the Raptors. He doesn't need this.
Yeah. It's just the strength of Kalista and Set, right? Kalista very, very safe in her lane because you've got so much priority. Old Stone's moves, if you're Hepe, you feel threatened and you kind of have to move. Of course, the other option is stay in the lane, try and bully through you when Old Stone's moves up, but then you lose the skirmish on your side of the map where you could realistically match the numbers. Now NVision, they want to make this dive happen. Rise is also moving down, but look on the minimap, London, they've read this play as well. They're making their way over. How quickly will NVision pull the trigger?
There's the ultimate coming through from Rise. They're going to try and catch members out. Maggie dives away just into Fade and gets the damage down. Really nice ultimate coming out from No Name. Means that NVision have taken off more than they can chew. Fuyu sent his support over the wall, but won't be able to dive over himself as Beely picks up another kill with the Twin Fangs. Excellent response from London. They don't even commit Akers. He's getting free time top, and it's all going the way of the red side right now.
It is all going the way of the red side right now. And Vision a little bit too slow to make that play happen. And it makes it a little too telegraphed. I don't think any Vision gave up that the play was happening. Just a good read from London overall. And unfortunately, the execution isn't quite there. And Vision, they're not able to burst down any high-value targets. That's the crucial thing. And all of the AoE damage that is responded with in kind by London is just absolutely massive. Moonfall, Petrifying Gaze, everything. Start to finish. There was just no response for NVision, unfortunately. And they tried to be proactive on the bottom side, the side of the map that they have to be proactive on. And again, feels like they're just not quite able to meet the mark.
First time we've seen a little bit of a gold lead, really. 1,000 in the pockets of London. Still a couple of minutes on these tower plates. You can see exactly on the bottom of your screen, thank you very much, Observer, where these gold leads are being taken. It's incremental, but mid lane, it's pretty spooky.
Yeah. It is a pretty spooky lead in the mid lane. I agree. Spooky's one way of putting it, especially when Beely already, he's actually gone for a Rift Maker. Okay.
Healing up.
Yeah, I like it. I wonder if because of the Cassiopeia buff, were they even
Yeah, Olsen's going to get slowed up, but might be able to walk away. Mankey actually needs one more to really start melting through. Has that big shield available to him, but No Name's in the neighborhood as well. Nice route off the flash, and that's going to secure the kill. Could also secure themselves a Rift Herald bot as Beely forced to back away from the mid tower. That was, I don't know what that was, Jamada. I'm not sure.
I wish I could tell you. You know, sometimes I wonder why I'm an analyst. You know, like, it's my job to be able to understand everything or break things down, and then things like that happen, and I question my own existence.
Like, am I wrong? Is this not how League of Legends lets me play? Naturally, diving onto Faded, he's going to be grounded, and he's going to be sent to bed. No supper, as Beely's on a rampage.
Yeah, that's a 402 Cassiopeia with that Rift Maker.
There's the Herald.
And there's the Herald, so he's going to get funneled in even more for resources. And Hepe's here to even dive Old Stones if they want to look for it. Does have level 6.
Oh, they do want to look for it, and Set does have the Haymaker, has the damage, but not going to be able to take anyone down. Double teleport coming on through. DB and Akers both want to be involved in the show, haven't really participated in the game as of yet, and are going to just be moving in, not actually participating in this part of the game either, as neither of them get involved as the play peters out.
Yeah, absolutely. A very well executed mid lane play from London, start to finish. Faded caught shopping, I guess. Alt tab maybe, who knows? No Name walks up to him and just combos him, and the follow-up is there. Then Old Stones does his best to hold the tower, but he's all alone. Still a Set support. As this is the lane, like you say, we've really not looked at that much. Starting to wonder how much it's even going to matter at this point, as the rest of the map starts to fall apart for NVision. As here we have a replay of the mid lane dive. Okay, awesome. Well, Old Stones gets the Haymaker down, you can see, but he loses so much of his HP already that by the time it comes out, Healy's just dealing so much damage that the shield doesn't even really get to last for that long. And now I'm starting to wonder, for London, how far can they pull this lead? Because we've seen it already 2 times in this series. Both teams really have struggled to concisely or precisely end out a game with a lead. This lead, not the most convincing one, though. There's a certain air about it. I don't know about you, but there's a certain air about this lead, which feels a little bit different to the other ones. However, finality in League of Legends in the UKLC just doesn't really seem to be a thing, so I'm not gonna...
I mean, I think the difference here is that this lead has been... there's a good portion of this league that has maybe been built off NVision mistakes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be Faded getting caught out. That's no mistake. That's just clean as hell play from the Nautilus. First tower going down in the mid lane as London pick up more gold. It's going to be returned to the bot side, but is that going to be worth it?
Is it clean play or is it Nautilus being broken?
The
universe will never answer this question for us. But NVision, they're going to stay... No, they're going to trade. Sorry. Well, facing, they trade out towers 1-for-1, but they do lose their mid laner yet again. London this time around picking on the mid laner of NVision a little bit. Rise is a very mobile champion. He didn't have flash, just came back up. They've been abusing that window and they've been doing it damn well. And it's pulled them ahead, 3,000 gold. NVision, definitely a lot of work to do from this position as we've got a pause.
Yeah, just got a little pause for you, just so we can collect ourselves, breathe. Oh, but you're right.
Hi. So, just got a message from Viperior's top laner Shieda. Okay. Set plus Haid of Blades equals 3 fast auto attacks. Right auto attack is incredibly fast. Set Q is an AA reset. And so adds 1 extra proc to Hail of Blades. That is the Hail of Blades step for set.
Our observer's screaming at us. That is exactly what they said was the case.
Oh.
Human.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Raphael,
yeah, he did technically say that.
I'd like
you know,
to
Raphael
on behalf of Jamada.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget how smart Raphael actually is. Sometimes I'm scared for my job just because of this man.
The best people in productions are, and the smartest of the observers.
If he wasn't such a good observer, I would probably be out of a job. Chances are, because
maybe he will be.
Come spring, yeah.
It hasn't been announced who's casting finals tomorrow. Like.
Just for context on why we're laughing, our observer just said we're going to speak to our product manager about firing you.
I mean, if you want a reference for firing Jamada, you just drop me a message.
Okay, all right,
Discord,
guys.
And
listen, I'm not in it for collusion. All right, I'm not going to watch collusion happen in front of me. All right, let's behave.
Oh, actually, we're see a decent fight coming through. Akaz might be in a decent amount of trouble, and there's the stun. There's so much CC coming through, and Akaz has no way out.
No way. No way.
He doesn't win. No.
Oh, my
no, you're not there. You're not there. You're not there. There's the shut. Well, not the shutdown, but there's the kill. Finally. Goodness me. They managed to drop the Rift Herald down top lane.
I had a heart attack for a second. I thought he was going to make it out. The Leeching Leer Vamp plus Doran's Blade. Chucking out the...
Wait.
Yeah.
Did Viego just stole... Wait, was... Oh, no. Don't worry. Ignore me. Jamada, go. Jamada, go. Don't worry.
No, he didn't. He can't do that.
I know.
Will.
I was like, what? But also, it's the wrong person to be killed, and it was second one we didn't see get taken.
To be fair, Akshan does revive champions, so at this point, anything's possible. I agree.
My brain's melting as well at this stage, you can tell.
Yeah.
We're doing great, Jamada. We're trying our darndest.
Yeah, I didn't get to eat before the broadcast today. It's a pretty it's a big cardinal sin to
you have
to do that. So my tolerance today.
Tolerance for nonsense is low.
It's been a little low.
And the nonsense has been pretty high.
So I will chuck up, because, I feel like a lot of the UKLC guys, the viewers, feels like family, in a way.
Yeah, of course.
I apologize for any short-fused behavior you may have experienced on the broadcast today.
What do you mean
I hope
just
you can
today?
bear with me. Huh?
What do you mean just today?
I mean, well, no. I mean, I feel like I'm usually a pretty tolerable person when it comes to all of these things. But today, on semifinals day, no less, I feel like I might have been a little harsh sometimes. But that being said, we've seen some pretty big shenanigans from both of these teams. So I hope you can forgive me. Aka's trying to hold a freeze, but unfortunately, just because of the position of where the wave is, I don't think it's going to freeze. And it will eventually slow push out because it's also a cannon wave. So NVision, you can see they're waiting for Aka's to eventually have to push out this wave. And they're probably just going to try and kill him as he's about to face check into the top side, potentially.
Yes.
But he's okay.
Fine, though. He'll be okay.
And that looks like a mid lane. They're going to try and rotate over London because they know a couple of members were rotated up. They're going to try and catch the wave high, and then Vision maybe look to capitalize. Wrong sides of the map right now.
Their teams are a little bit extended, and it looks like Allstone's looking for an engage. We'll get rooted up there. Mankey's here, and he's still have damage coming through from the Kaiser. He's going to be able to knock away from the damage. The ultimate comes through, and Set is dragged back away from the pain. But Akers is looking to dish some out. Will be able to hit the first kill onto the Jackson. Allstone's, but Low gets away. But then Mankey looking for the assassination. Will be able to secure it as he flashes to safety after the kill. It's 2 going over to London. They only lose their support, and it's another decent trade.
Another decent trade indeed. 2 for 1 support. For support on top. London pick up 2 kills, but what are they going to get off the back end of it? Is it just going to be the kills, the summoner spells traded? Looks like the answer will be a pretty stern yes. So I guess once we come out of this replay, definitely track some of these summoner spells as fight kicks off just in the mid lane. Both these teams jostling for mid lane priority, pressure. NVision feel like they can win a skirmish, but unfortunately a little bit too spread out, and London, they're able to play, albeit a little bit of a scared one, a straight up front to back, which with a Cassiopeia, they are inevitably going to win. They do just that. So let's take a look. Summoner spells. Mankey, No Name, Hepe. It's always hard to track Hepe's flash timer because obviously Hex Flash is a thing. Then on the opposite side, Fuyu no flash. And DBL doesn't have flash. And by the time this dragon spawns up, Quanitus will have his. So definitely a couple more key flashes, if you ask me, not available on the London side. I think for the Kalista, it's kind of... It's not necessary, but it's a very nice to have. I think in a game like this, however, being able to flash over things like Nautilus Hook, even over the grounded, can potentially be a big deal away from the Moonfall, things of that nature. So if London do get their hands on the Kalista, even with the shield bow, they probably will burst her down. Let's not forget the ground kind of just stops her from moving because she can't dash when she auto attacks. She practically can't auto space anymore. So it's going to feel very, very bad. But London, okay, I thought they were feeling it. They do have a Cassiopeia with 2 items and
Kaiser as well.
And the Kaiser and the Diana for that fact. So, you know, Barons will burn really quickly if they're given the opportunity. They're looking for a mid lane engage, potentially. Fuyu.
Can Yeppy find anyone? He can find the Set. He finds Old Stones, but that's not really the priority target. But there's no he finds everybody. So much damage coming on through. But NVision, they're all still alive for now. Faded flash over the wall as Akers joins the fray. No Name picks up the first blood fight. And there's another laser-pointed hook coming through. Double kill for London Esports. Double kill for Diana. And Baron on the menu. Baron
is going to be the reward here of this pick. Now, NVision Quanitus is alive, but quite frankly, 3v5, is it worth it? You've got DPL pushing on the bottom side. I think he's about to secure that bottom tier 2, though given his position, it looks like he's already taken it. Quanitus, he's looking, but quite frankly,
he can't be there.
He can't. He can't. So it's going to be Baron, this next dragon over to London. DBL does secure this tower, however, at what cost? Fuyu being run down. Not going to chase any further. Mankey with a lot of discipline there. Understands that Jax can be right there to jump over the wall with the counter-strike. And London primed and ready to secure themselves a spot in the finals, spot Telia Master. This fight kicks off all with Hepe. X flashes over the wall, finds the hook, finds the 3-man knock-up into the 3-man Moonfall, even though it's double Zonya's the way, I believe, or the Set ultimate, or the Kalista rather, pulls Set out. At that point, NVision are just quite frankly in a shambles. There is nothing they can do about it. Mankey connects the W, follows up with Killer Instinct, and Killer Instinct indeed very apt. As Dragon actually not picked up during replay or anything like that. A lot of resets came through, so it is still there to fight over if London feel like it. They don't really have any waves to work with. So in all honesty, I don't see why not just pick up the dragon at this point. However, you have to say, Baron, this early, if all they can get for it is a Cloud Dragon, maybe another tower. They do have 90 seconds to work with the buff, so it's not like it's entirely off them yet, but NVision right now feeling okay about the Baron.
I mean, it's a case of what London Esports can do with it for the next few seconds. What they can force through, what they can try and make work. Because we've seen these teams struggling to make things work when it comes to trying to close out the game. Both teams have struggled with that. And you can see Jax is moving up towards that top side. Does have the teleport available, but Aka's on the bot side is able to eat through these towers relatively quickly. But members of NVision, they're going to try and eat relatively quickly through Gwen. Is going to be forced to skip away to safety. And now back in the mid lane, London Esports happy to continue the push. And they haven't managed to break the base just yet. But you can imagine it's only a matter of time. And this mid lane tower will be the one that crumbles, will be the one that gives way. And the inhibitor will soon follow. Jax is still pushing up though, trying to get an inhibitor tower in the top lane himself. And actually, London, they're going to be backing away from this one. They could look to try and steal it. Beely going to teleport mid. But can Jax even things out?
Don't know. I mean, Gwen's already made it back. No Name, they're looking.
Oh,
they're trying to get No Name at the very
No Name, they might be able to do so. Nice block up coming through.
Oh,
as Mac dives back into the fray, though, this is going to be disastrous. But NVision, they managed to lose one as Old Stones is dragged back in, dragged back out, and DBL does survive. Mankey trying to get away from Jax, will be able to flash away from the stun and turns his attention to the damage. Beely slithering on back down the mid lane. Mankey picks up another, and you know what? The re-engage from NVision, that could be enough for London Esports to make a decent dent in their towers.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, they've got this cannon, they've got another wave on the way, they're pinging it London, they know they've got the time. This could be it right here. London, in a very slow and meticulous way, could potentially at the very least crack open these Nexus towers. The Baron's just dropped off them, but now look, they've got a super wave with them. Viego's up, however. I think that might be the signal to leave the base, not go any further, but one Nexus tower, definitely feeling very, very happy about taking that one away and off the board.
Great secure. This is the fight we saw. NVision decided to make this play.
Yeah, I mean, NVision, they're trying to buy time for DBL on the top side. They're trying to find the pick. And quite frankly, it just doesn't work because the person they bring back into the team is the Diana. He gets the move for the dive back in, the very decisive dive back in from Mankey, crucially, is what makes that dive or re-dive very, very successful. DBL taken down by Mankey. And yes, Fuyu does pick up Pepe. And he does pick up another kill. Quite frankly, at this point, you know, you're a 2.5 IM Kalista against effectively the same in a Kai'Sa, but you also have to worry about Cassiopeia, Diana, Gwen, Nautilus point and click. You don't get to play the game. Even with all of these other potential damage threats in the game, it's just so difficult to do it. DBL hasn't really been entering these team fights, and I mean, understandably so, wants to side lane, but London, they're just consistently able to find team fights, even in this case, at a numbers disadvantage.
I will say, I know we've mentioned it already, but the top side of London, their mythics are very aesthetically pleasing to me.
Oh, yeah.
All just lined up.
Yeah.
I like it.
And honestly, the itemization, pretty good, because you have to remember, a lot of magic resist being stacked up, but Riftmaker gives you a bit of true damage on top of it as well, so definitely feels nice. And just in general, all these champions very good users of Riftmaker. Definitely, I will say it's the first time that I think I've seen Cassiopeia or Riftmaker, at least in competitive. It's usually all about the Liandry's, occasionally the Everfrost. But right here, I think playing the Sustain War, not a terrible idea. It's been working so far.
Exactly, like London Esports on the verge of greatness in this game. Do need to be a little bit careful, but they are diving onto the Jack. I can get stunned up, but that could be pretty big. But no, DBL's going to be cut to shreds as London will be able to back away, trying to force through onto this tower. Should be able to cure it and will do just that. Don't think there's anything else on the cards for them as they back away looking for a reset, itemize themselves, because Baron up in 25, Dragon up in 40. They want to try and secure it, one of, if not both of these.
Yep, they want to do it as cleanly as possible as well. Got a bit of a pause here. Seems like got a little bit of lag going on. And honestly, even though it's actually London that have called the pause, but yeah, at the end of the day, you're in the lead right now. You don't want to be playing with lag. You just so yeah, understandable. But yeah, London very commanding so far, and they look like they're probably going to close out. NVision have to find a bit of a miracle for me at this point to kind of make something happen, because it seems like anytime they try and take a team fight, it's just not worked out. Faded on the Rise hasn't been able to find, you know, these sort of moments where he can just open up onto whoever's in front of him or one of the key targets. You know, the Viego's not had that reset moment. Jax, he's had a fair amount of impact on the side lanes. He's taken down most, if not all, of the hour towers and or the towers outside of the base, but he's not been able to knock on the base doors just yet. So yeah, NVision, you know, their team's not really about team fighting, realistically, and it's what London's is about. So it's just been a very difficult thing for NVision to do. And now London actually, instead of going for the full-on reset, they're trying to cut off people here. Oh, Juanitis.
They're able to find the snipe onto Old Stones or Unotis, so they're going to be able to sneak down mid lane. But now Baron's on the menu. Teleport coming on through from Gwen. All 5 members of London Esports wants to be involved in this one. It's not going to go for the soul, but look how quickly it melts through. Oh, that's not fun.
Nope. And I mean, they can go for the dragon if they want to. It is soul. But is it even necessary? Realistically, the answer is probably no. So they're just going to go shove up the top side. And now, Juanitis, it looks like, yeah, I was going to say, it looks like he might even decide to take the dragon solo, but they're just going to reset because NVision know London, they're all here as a 5-man unit. They are ready to siege up the top side. They are ready to potentially think about cracking open another inhibitor, and if they can find a fight, honestly, just end the game.
Are NVision going to get in the fight? Are they going to cower under their towers? DBL on the side, on the flank, is spotted out with a snipe and will be sought out. Dice, some amount of damage going through. Here comes Oldstone's being taken so low, dragged back in by Vaders, getting the damage down. DBL just not involved in this fight at all, as Unotis is trying to survive, trying to hold strong for as long as possible. Faded will be able to make his way through the gate, but Fuyu has to cower under the tower. London Esports, somehow all 5 members still surviving. No, Yeppe's dead as per, but they're going to be forcing through onto this inhibitor, forcing through onto the Nexus. You've got to imagine, can Faded and Fuyu do anything here? There's only one Nexus tower standing as the Rise, as the Callista make their last ditch attempts, but Akers isn't taking damage. He's going to be able to get onto the Nexus. No nonsense this time around as London Esports secure their spot at Telia Masters.
London Esports will secure their spot at Telia Masters, back-to-back splits, 2 in a row now. And honestly, this game, much more decisive. I feel like we had a very, very up and down series today between London and NVision, but honestly, an entertaining one nonetheless, I feel.